Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create your first GIS project. You're going to learn how to open up a map. You're going to also learn how to locate GIS data online, how to insert that data into ArcGIS Pro, and how to change the colors, the symbology of that data, and then export it as a JPEG file in ArcGIS Pro. So the first thing you're going to do is open your map and you're going to name it whatever you want to. I'm going to name it, for the sake of this video, my first map. And what I like to do is always save my projects onto my hard drive, because my laptop, it has enough storage, but these GIS projects can really take a lot of storage quickly. So this is how your outline should look, and everything should be exactly like this on my screen. And for the sake of this video, we're gonna be doing a very simple map, and we're gonna map the countries of the world. The first thing that you want to play around with is the different base maps. So if you navigate to the map pane, you're gonna look at layer and you're gonna see multiple base maps that you can choose from. This is the imagery base map. This is, you can go to, my favorite one is OpenStreetMap style, because it gives the roads, it gives the cities, and everything that you need. It's very detailed. So you can also change the transparency on this layer in case you have like something on top of the layer but you still want the base map to be shown. You can set the transparency to say 50%. The next thing you want to do is gather your data. I like to get my data from online. I would just basically search whatever I'm looking for, and then at the end I would put GIS data, or I would put GIS, or I would put dataset, or I would type in shapefile. So we're just going to do a simple countries of the world map, and if you want to try this project with me, it's also going to be linked below. So you're going to navigate to download countries, and there should be a download going. What you want to do is then navigate to this file, and you cannot use it exactly how it is. It has to be extracted. So you're going to left click this file, click extract all, and extract your file. Next, you will navigate back to ArcGIS Pro. So you can add files to your map in multiple different ways. You can click add folder. When you click add folder, it allows you to import a folder that you downloaded into your ArcGIS Pro. The easiest way for me to add files to my map is by opening up my folders, look for the non-compressed/zip folder, open this up, and I will basically drag all of my files into my map. So when you have your file, your shape file in this map, then you can now get started. I left click and look at the attribute table before I decide to color my map, because I need to first know what's all in this data set. There's a lot of stuff in the attribute table that's helpful when you're making your map, because these are the data that you need to present. What I want to focus on for this video is the population rank. Each country is ranked by population, and if you click this field and you click it again, it's gonna rank by the lowest population rank to the highest. So if we was gonna navigate back to our country's name, we can see that Brazilian island has the lowest population rank. If we scroll all the way down, China has the highest population rank. So now we're gonna exit out of our attribute table because we already know what we're looking for. We're gonna navigate to Symbology, and if you want to open up Symbology, left click Symbology on your right. So single symbol, everything has one color, but for the sake of this video, we're going to use unique values, which would give every value a different color. Now you can see that this shapefile is now one color, but we have to first change our field. That was the importance of opening up the attribute table, for us to know what fields and what data we want to show on this map. This is what we're going to use for our map, which is population rank. So we have to navigate, and here it says population rank. Now, like I said, each population rank will have different colors because we use unique values. So in order to change your color scheme, you're gonna click this and different colors will pop up. I want to use some type of gradient color, so we're gonna click more color schemes. You can navigate a lot of color schemes here. The map makes more sense because if you was to look here on the right, you can see that countries with the least population rank is darker, and if you scroll down, countries with the highest population is lighter. So see, you have China, you have India, and then it gradually goes darker the lower the population. If you want to format the entire shapefile without having to click each color one by one, you can click more, format all symbols, and here you can edit the entire layer. So I want to change my outline color and say we want it to be white. This is how it looks white, but we need a darker color for the countries to be more defined. So I'm going to use a dark gray. I'm going to change my outline width to 0.9. Now the lines are slightly thicker and the countries are more defined. But say if we was to use if we were looking at smaller data, thinner lines would be best. So it's all about knowing how to format your layers in a way that is understandable and readable. We're done with the symbology, we're done with the formatting. I'm happy with how it looks for this map. Now we're going to go to my favorite part of this video, which is the layout. Layout is everything. So we're going to go to Insert, New Layout. So these are the different layout sizes that you can use for your maps. These would be for huge maps, small. I'm going to use 8.5 by 11 because I post on social media and this is close to the size of the post that social media allows. So we're going to open up that 8.5 by 11. To be able to see your map, you need to click map frame, and I'm going to choose map, and you're going to drag this box to however big you want your map to be on this page. You're going to left click your map to activate. This allows you to move your map around so that it fits on the frame. We're going to do countries of the world by population rank in Africa. So I'm just going to zoom into Africa some more. And we're going to leave it like that. It's not the best, but you can also clip your map in order to stop the other countries from showing. However, that will also be in another video, so stay tuned for that. We're going to type up something so that people know what they're looking at. So what I'm going to do is navigate to graphics and text, insert a text and drag it. We're going to do population rank in population. You can also double click to format the text. Population rank in African countries. And there you have it. So I'm going to navigate to text symbol. Now I'm going to format my text. So I need this as big as possible. Click apply. And you can see that the letters got bigger. I'm going to change the font to Constantia. And then I'm also going to, in order to change the alignment of the text, we're going to navigate to position and click apply. Now my text is in the middle. So the last thing you're going to do for this map is create a legend, because the legend tells people what they're looking at. With the title of this map, they can see that it's a population rank in African countries, but which countries have the highest population, all they can see is different colors. So that's why it's so important for us to have a legend on our maps. So you're going to click New Legend, drag your legend to however big you want it to be, and add it to your map. You can see that there's 3 red dots, meaning that there's more in this legend that isn't being shown. So we need to make this bigger. And now this is your legend. However, I do not like how this is formatted, so we're just gonna fix this up. We're gonna navigate. So this is your contents pane, and here you can see everything that is in your frame. So what we're gonna do is head on over to elements. We're gonna click layer name. We're gonna uncheck it so that the layer name is removed and all we can see is the headings. So in order to change the name of the headings, I'm gonna go back to our map. I'm gonna double click this and change the name so that the name is also changed on the legend in our layout tab. So we're gonna use population rank, and it would automatically change on our layout frame. So we also need to specify our population rank a bit more because people will be confused about what does 1 mean, what does 18 mean, what does 14 mean. So we're gonna specify in brackets. We're gonna say population rank least to greatest. Oh, spelled that wrong. Should specify a little bit more what's going on in this map. The darkest colors are lesser than the greatest colors. To delete the all other values, we're going to go back to our map, go back to Symbology, navigate to that field, and we're going to uncheck it. So after we uncheck it, it should be gone from our map. And that's how you do that. But we also need to fix this. Now, go back to population rank. We're going to edit the text a tiny bit by making the size a bit bigger. And then we're going to change our font also to the same font as the title. And that's our legend completed. Now that we have our layout already how we want it to be, we can go ahead and export our file. So what you're going to do is navigate to share. You're going to click export layout, choose whatever file you want it to be. I personally like to do JPEG because it's for images. And then we're going to change the name of this map. We're going to name it something easy like population rank African countries. And then you're going to hit export. This will then export your file. And now you can see the JPEG file in your files. So in this video, you learned how to make your own ArcGIS Pro project. You learned how to change base maps. You learned how to add a shapefile and change the layer color of that shapefile. You also learned how to format your map in print layout and how to export it as an image. If you learned something from this video, I encourage you to go ahead and make your own map. Go ahead and follow these instructions exactly how I did it. And along the way, you will find your own way of making your maps. It's all about application. So continue to navigate making maps. It would only help you get better.